Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk. They say that video games exist to appeal to our wildest fantasies that we can never live out ourselves. And that's all well and good. I fantasize about being a tiny robot all the time, I get it. But it does come to a point where you have to wonder if truly all of our fantasies can be lived out through video games. And I somehow doubt it. Scratch that. Now on a completely unrelated note, where's my wallet? Many people consider games like Breath of the Wild, God of War, and The Last of Us to be the cream of the crop of gaming. Compelling narratives, stunning visuals, and booming scores. And for a while there, I would have agreed with that, but then Untitled Goose game released and I threw that notion out of the window. This beauty of a game released on September 20th, 2019, and even though the Switch Lite and the Link's Awakening remake released alongside it, this was the most notable thing that happened that day. The game initially reared its head in October 2017, simply going by the name Goose. It was then re-revealed in August 2018, and finally released around a year later. The wait for this game was f***ing agonizing, to put it lightly. I mean, come on, a game where you can play as a goose? Get this thing in my face now! I couldn't wait to get my hands on this game, and when the release day rolled around... What do I look like, someone who does this? Was it because of this? No, I bought that in October. Maybe this? I own a Game Boy, why would I need that? There really wasn't a reason that I didn't pick this sucker up on the 20th, but I did eventually buy it on December 30th. Jesus Christ! This game took a while to actually exist, and it took me even longer to actually buy it, but hey, I do own it now. So because I've got nothing better to do today, I think it's finally time that I played this game. I mean, what else would I do? Contribute to society? I think there's something wrong with my copy. Okay, so there's a second goose here for reasons, and lots of them. We start off in a forest where we learn the controls of this game. We can honk, flap our wings, honk, bend over, pick things up, honk, run, honk. We can honk, guys! Honk. We run around the forest like complete jackasses for a few hours, and when we emerge, we find a farmer, and this is where the game gives us our first objective to complete. Harassment. It's everything I ever wanted this game to be. This game is fundamentally a f**k-off simulator. Your only goal is to get any and every character in the game to tell you to f**k off. There are 5 main areas in this game, and each one gives you a checklist of terrorism to complete, but figuring out how to achieve these goals is where the fun lies. I mean, obviously it's a lot of fun attacking this innocent village of people for absolutely no reason, but most of the things on these checklists have their own puzzles associated with them, and utilizing the goose's moveset alongside any form of concrete matter surrounding you to solve these puzzles is an absolute blast. That other goose is just doing its own thing there, isn't it? Now, the only way to truly enjoy harassment is to know who you're up against. I mean, come on, why would I push a kid into a phone booth unless I knew he was deathly afraid of squares? So, to make our feathery terrorism a whole lot more fun, let's meet the cast of Untitled Goose Game. Our first victim is Farmer Gerald. He may seem like the kind of person who would love not murder, but beneath his plastered-on smile, he's a serial anti-goose preservation supporter. He sees a hungry goose in need trying to eat one measly carrot, and the bastard tries to curb stomp it into extinction. He is ruthless with not giving a shit about geese. The village centre is the proud home of 2 whole shops, and their most loyal customer is Austin over here. Now you might be thinking, why terrorize this kid? He did nothing wrong! But the answer's right in front of your face, you fucking moron. You see, this kid is always carrying a plane with him, and as we all know, planes are the mortal enemies of geese, so this kid wants us dead too! The owner of the fruit shop over here is Matilda, and much like Farmer Gerald, this bitch wants all geese to perish. Like we try and take anything from our shop and she tries to smack us with a broomstick. I never thought I'd say this, but for the love of God, this place needs some animal rights activists. The woman in the TV shop is Susan, honestly, the savior of this town. She has a heart of gold. She saves Austin from the phone booth every time he gets stuck in there, and breaking into her shop lets us be on the TV. The spotlight belongs to the geese, bitches! Damn it! Over in the nearby neighborhood, we have homeowners, and 2 of them. This guy. Albert and I go way back. He used to walk, and now he just sits and reads his paper. Man, come on, Albert, get your ass up and chase us! Albert's neighbor is Marjorie. These guys don't really talk too much, so let's see what we can do about that. I'm sure this'll ease the tension between them. Marjorie isn't the nicest. She has this goose statue, so you'd think she'd want to dress a real goose with a bow tie, but no! I want to be a pretty goose, but she yells at me! After being subjected to Marjorie, the next logical step is to go to the pub. Oh hey, it's Amazon Archie! And he even has a homeless shelter for geese. Man, this guy gets it. The shelter is portable. Alright, okay, cool, great, please put me down. The barman is a dick. He tries to kick us out of the pub at any chance he gets, but I'd rather be in the pub, man, that's just not fair. I'm gonna name him Richard. Because he looks rich. And finally, we have Alfie the old man over here, and I gotta say, the fact that he's sitting down is really pissing me off. That's the cast of Untitled Goose Game. There is this other woman working at the bar, but she can't comprehend the concept of geese under a table, so she sure as hell wouldn't be able to comprehend having a name. And there's this couple over here, but I'm too blinded by their praise to terrorize them, which makes them the only people in the game who won't be goose victims. Now, do the rest of the cast deserve to be tortured day in and day out by two geese? Yeah. The less said about the puzzles in this game, the better. So much of the fun comes from figuring out which of the geese's moves you're going to use to make people miserable. The final section of the game is particularly great, but for the 7 of you out there who don't want to be spoiled on the funny goose game, I've got you covered. We'll leave that section out of this discussion, but just know this. It's sublime. But you didn't think the game ended with the credits, did you? Well, good, because once you've beaten all of the main quests, we're gifted even more checklists of misery to work through. And all of these tasks are incredibly fun and can actually be quite difficult. A lot of them involve bringing people from multiple of the game's areas together to be tortured in tandem, and you really have to work to get these tasks done, which I can actually really appreciate because in terms of difficulty, the base game is nothing to write home about. There are also time challenges, and Christ, they're strict! But finally getting all of the tasks in an area done within the given timescale feels so damn good! Finally, I think if I had to pick one thing about this game that makes it so appealing, it would by far be the experimentation aspect. The moveset of the goose mixed with the fact that you can interact with almost everything you see is an absolute blast, and when combined with the completely unique behaviours of each and every human character, you really do have to ponder about how to achieve a certain goal, whether it be one that the game has given you or simply one that you want to try for shits and giggles. The game doesn't hand anything to you, it provides you with the tools necessary to reach an objective, but you truly have to figure out how to utilise those tools for yourself, which is way more deep and engaging than I ever expected a game with this name to be. Untitled Goose Game is a phenomenal experience. Sure, on the surface it looks like a funny, stupid joke game, made entirely to get a few quick laughs and then be forgotten about, but in execution, this game offers legitimate depth and strategy. The moveset is admittedly quite limited, but that's exactly how it should be. You're a goddamn goose, you have limitations and you have to overcome them to get what you want, and it's perfect! I obviously really enjoyed this game, but nobody's perfect, so does this game have any glaring flaws? No. I mean, people love to bitch about the length of the game. You can beat it in a couple of hours. But come on, it's a game where you play as a goose. It's not going to be as long as The Last of Us. I get that the game isn't really everybody's thing, but it's a charming little experience that has loads of fun packed within it. So if this game even looks somewhat interesting to you, you probably already bought it, let's be real. But if you're one of the few that hasn't, definitely give this thing a go. I honestly think you'll have a fantastic time with it, and enjoy it even more than you expected to. Well, that was fun. But was it play the game with a ghost fun? I don't think so. I should probably try and find my controller and hope to God that the spirit using it to honk at me is gonna play nice and give it back. Now, where the hell could it be? Oh, I should have known it was you, you slippery son of a bitch. Now give it back. No, come. Damn it! Well, that blows. But at least it only took one controller.